Did you know that Spain has one of the highest life expectancies in the world? It consistently ranks among the top 10 countries for longevity, while the US ranks all the way down between 40th and 55th place, depending on the source. A Bloomberg analysis even ranked Spain the #1 healthiest country. So what's their secret? My husband and I permanently moved from the US to Spain last year, and we quickly noticed many improvements to our physical and mental health. So if you're thinking about moving to Spain or just want to adopt a healthier lifestyle, here are 7 simple Spanish habits that can change your life. First up is the anti-hustle culture. Here is something that will blow your mind if you're coming from America. Hustle culture doesn't exist in Spain. People take all of August to go on vacation. They have lots of holidays and days off throughout the year. They value rest and treat it sacredly. It's a completely different philosophy. In the US, it sometimes feels like your worth as a human is based on your net worth. Striving, working hard, and making money is the only measure of success. It's about impressing the Joneses and showing others how successful you are. Here in Spain, nobody cares how much money you make or whether you drive a fancy car or have an expensive house. They value things other than material objects. They value relationships, real food, and leisure time more than they value buying things. The focus is on connecting as a person, being present and enjoying life, not on climbing the corporate ladder and prioritizing your career over everything else. This work-life balance isn't just nice to have, it literally extends your life. When you're not constantly stressed about work, finances, career advancement, your body isn't stuck in a perpetual state of fight or flight. It can actually focus on healing and maintaining itself, leading to a longer, healthier, and happier life. This relaxed approach ties right into the next habit, a stress-free mentality, or what Spaniards call no pasa nada, which means no worries or it's not a big deal. I was at a dental clinic recently and there was a young boy who was crying because he was scared of the procedure he was about to have, but his mother managed to calm him down by smiling and repeating over and over again to him, "Estás bien, no pasa nada," or "You're fine, don't worry." What struck me was how genuinely relaxed she was, and this made her child more relaxed too. For Spanish people, it's embedded in their psyche from an early age not to stress. Their parents repeat this to them from childhood, no pasa nada, and it simply becomes a part of their mentality. I love this about Spanish people because they don't get stressed or angry very easily. You feel relaxed around them because they are so chill and easygoing. Spanish people also smile a lot and have this naturally joyful, optimistic outlook on life. There was actually a perfect example of this during the nationwide blackout that happened in April when all the electricity went down across Spain. People didn't freak out, they just went outside to have some beer, play cards, dance, listen to the radio, and play some sports. All the trains were stopped across the country, and there were even videos of people dancing together on the tracks in the middle of nowhere. They turned a potentially stressful situation into a community celebration. And since the World Health Organization has identified chronic stress as a major risk factor for various health conditions, this no-stress mindset has massive health benefits, reducing stress-related illnesses that are so common in American culture. Now let's talk about diet. One of the biggest reasons Spanish people live longer is because of the food culture. In Spain, most meals, whether you're eating at home or at a restaurant, are made with fresh, real ingredients. People shop at local markets or small stores that are located in every neighborhood just around the corner, not giant supermarkets full of packaged meals. The food in Spain and generally in Europe has fewer preservatives, less sugar, and doesn't trigger addiction to processed foods like in the US. And the fresh produce actually does go bad fast. It doesn't stay in the fridge for weeks and has real juicy taste, no watery flavor like in the US. The Mediterranean diet focuses on whole, seasonal, and locally grown ingredients. In Spain, we eat plenty of fresh vegetables and legumes, and we have a fresh salad with extra virgin olive oil every night for dinner. Seafood and fish are also much more affordable here compared to other countries, especially if you live in a coastal town where it's always fresh. One thing I love is that in places like the Central Market or even regular supermarkets, there are dedicated seafood sections where the staff will clean and cut the fish however you like. One thing I noticed after moving to Spain is that I can actually eat pasta and bread here without feeling bloated or getting acne on my face, which wasn't the case back in the US. We even noticed that the pasta has a different color. In the US, it was a super bright yellow color, and here it's a pale beige, which is how uncooked pasta is actually supposed to look. This is because pasta in the US often uses artificially enriched flour that's more refined and processed, while the pasta here is minimally processed and contains just one ingredient: durum wheat. A lot of the wheat used in bread and pasta in the US comes from high-yield crops that can be harder to digest. They also often use chemicals like glyphosate, which has been linked to digestive issues and other health problems, and this is much more restricted in Europe. In Spain, wheat varieties generally have less gluten, and the use of such chemicals is tightly controlled, which makes the bread and pasta here easier on your stomach. An important part of the Mediterranean diet is moderate portions and no rush while eating. Unlike in the US, where plates can be huge and it's easy to overeat, here people serve themselves just enough to enjoy the flavors without going overboard. It's more about quality than quantity. Eating smaller, balanced portions helps with digestion and keeps you feeling light and energized, not weighed down or bloated. Plus, you don't feel rushed here when eating out. A Spaniard's typical dinner will be tapas or a light dish surrounded by friends or family. They would start eating at 8 or 9 p.m. and sit till almost the time the bar is getting closed. This kind of mindful eating has definitely helped me feel better physically since moving here. So we talked about the mindset and diet. Now let's talk about exercise. Here is a shocking statistic. About 80% of Americans live sedentary lifestyles, and obesity rates in the US are around 40%. But one of the most common things Americans say when they move to Europe is that they automatically lose weight without even trying. And aside from the healthier diet in Spain, one of the main reasons for this is the walking culture. In Spain, you don't need to consciously try to do 10,000 steps per day. In the US, you would need either to purchase a treadmill for your house to walk or drive a car to a park to walk there with your dog. Here, in between going for bread to the bakery, then to the supermarket for groceries, going to a cafe for coffee, and for dinner to the city center, you often naturally reach 10,000 steps daily without even trying. No need for a car, and even sometimes no need for public transportation. People walk everywhere here. The cities are built for walking, not driving, like in the US. It's almost impossible not to lose extra weight when you move to Spain if you're used to living a more sedentary lifestyle in the US. You don't need to go to the gym to lose weight. It's passive exercise that's just built into your daily routine. On top of that, there is more of a fitness culture here too. You'll often see people playing sports outside, running in the park, or going for a swim at the beach. And you'll even see old people going for group exercise sessions at the gym. And that brings me to my next point, which is sunshine and outdoor living. Spanish people literally live outside. They actually don't mind mind living in smaller apartments without lots of space or modern amenities because they spend most of their time out of the house. When they meet friends, it's at a cafe or bar, kids play outside on playgrounds and in parks. Couples take walks on the beach and weekend trips. The house is just to sleep and take a shower. They even usually eat outside as food is quite cheap in the local bars. Many cities in Spain get over 300 days of sunshine per year, which means people are constantly getting natural vitamin D and bright light exposure. This has huge benefits for mood, energy levels, and sleep quality. Seasonal depression is virtually non-existent here because people get so much natural light. On top of that, another thing that keeps Spanish people healthy is social connection. You almost never see people glued to their phones here either. It's like the technology addiction epidemic that is so common in the US never made it to Spain. Instead of scrolling through social media, people are actually present in the moment, enjoying real conversations and real experiences. Adults are sitting in cafes, actually talking and enjoying each other's company. Children are playing with other children in the streets and plazas. We've seen in Valencia, where we live, social clubs for retirees to keep them entertained and fulfilled. Plus, each neighborhood here has a local community center where they gather to organize events. Anyone can get enrolled in such community centers for free to spread culture and make new local connections with your neighbors. This strong sense of community and real human connection is incredibly healing and beneficial for both mental and physical health. And the final thing on this list is that in Spain they get quality sleep and rest. As I mentioned earlier, they get lots of bright light during the day, which is proven to improve sleep quality. My husband and I noticed that when we spend most of the day outside and get lots of light, we sleep like babies at night and wake up feeling super refreshed, clear-minded, and energized. Not groggy with brain fog. The other thing is that most people know that if you eat a heavy meal right before bed, you end up sleeping worse and having worse sleep quality. In Spain, even though they eat dinner late, they eat light dinners, such as tapas. So by the time they go to bed, their stomach isn't full with a big meal. This also makes your sleep better. Don't forget that Spain is still the country that coined the term siesta. And even though most Spanish people don't take siestas anymore nowadays, the need for rest is still taken very seriously. Most people sleep in later here than in America. It's not a super early culture. Sleeping in isn't stigmatized like it is in the US, where you're considered lazy if you sleep in past 7 or 8 a.m. My husband was recently watching an interview with Spanish people where the interviewer asked people on the street what time they get up in the morning, and he was surprised by how many people said they wake up at 9 or even 10 a.m. It's totally normal here. Sleep deprivation isn't badge of honor like it is in the US. Nobody will be impressed if you burn the midnight oil and sacrifice sleep to work harder. Rest is valued and respected as an essential part of health and well-being. And as I mentioned earlier, they take their vacation time very seriously and they never feel guilty about taking time off to rest and recharge. Since moving to Spain, my husband and I feel much healthier and happier than we did in the US. The biggest takeaway is that in Spain, having a healthy lifestyle isn't something that requires superhuman discipline and constant vigilance. Healthy living is simply a natural part of your daily life, the way it should be. So if you want to enjoy this healthy lifestyle for yourself and are planning on moving to Spain in the next 3 to 6 months, my team and I specialize in helping American families relocate to Spain. We help with the entire moving process from start to finish, including securing your visa, choosing the right health insurance, finding an apartment, enrolling your kids in school, navigating taxes, and much more. So if you're serious about making this move happen, you can book a consultation with me me and my team, where we'll create a custom relocation plan for your family. The link to book a call is in the description below, or you can scan the QR code on your screen right now. And if you want to learn more about the top 2 visas that will allow you to move to Spain, you can download my digital nomad visa checklist and non-lucrative visa checklist. The links are also in the description. Thanks for watching, and if you're wondering what to watch next, click here to check out another video I did comparing food in America versus food in Europe. And see you next week. Hasta pronto!